When people think about wealth and financial success, they often look west, Wall Street, Silicon Valley. But hidden in plain sight is a culture that's been building wealth for over 5,000 years, quietly, strategically, and generationally. Chinese families don't just chase money. They engineer financial stability through systems, mindset, and discipline that most of the world simply ignores. This video isn't about cliches or kung fu metaphors. It's about real, applicable financial habits rooted in Chinese culture that continue to build empires in silence. Make sure to stick around till the end. Number 5 might just surprise you. It's one of the most powerful but underrated financial principles, and it could change the way you handle money forever. Let's go into the deep secrets. Secret 1. The 70-30 rule. Save before you spend. This one flies under the radar in most Western money advice, but in traditional Chinese households, it's almost sacred. For every 10 yuan earned, 3 goes into living expenses. The rest, saved, invested, or used to support family ventures. It's a financial discipline passed from generation to generation, not through textbooks, but through practice. Compare that to the typical Western model. Earn, spend, save what's left, if any. But the Chinese method flips the formula. Earn, save, spend what's left. This aligns perfectly with what Warren Buffett once said. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. It's not just about frugality. It's about building buffer, cushion, options. That 70-30 principle is a mental firewall that protects against lifestyle creep, panic decisions, and generational poverty. Want to try it? Start by reversing your habit. Set a percentage like 20%, 30%, even 10%, and lock it away the moment money comes in. Like rent, like tax, non-negotiable. That one change could have a huge impact on your financial future. Secret 2. Multi-generational wealth building. Think in centuries, not paychecks. Here's something you'll notice if you ever sit at a Chinese family dinner table. Conversations about money aren't just about today. They're about children, grandchildren, and even unborn generations. There's a philosophy called Fu Bu Guo San Dai, which means wealth does not pass 3 generations. It's not a curse, it's a warning, a challenge to build strong enough values and systems that your wealth doesn't dissolve by the 3rd generation. So how do Chinese families beat that statistic? They invest in education early. They encourage entrepreneurship as a family mission. They pool resources from brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, and building businesses together. And they pass down skills, not just savings. Compare that to the Western model of individualism. Make your own money. Leave the nest. Don't ask for help. But Chinese families view financial success as a relay race, not a solo sprint. Think about this. What would your financial life look like if your parents had started a business with their siblings and passed it to you with 0 debt? Here's the mindset shift. Stop thinking about my net worth. Start thinking about our legacy. Do you want to break the generational curse? Begin planning beyond your own lifetime. Build systems your kids won't have to rebuild from scratch. If you're finding this video valuable so far, consider subscribing and press the notification button to keep seeing videos on money mindsets from all over the world. Secret 3. Asset first, lifestyle second. Here's a harsh truth most people ignore. You don't deserve the lifestyle until you own the asset. In traditional Chinese financial thinking, luxury comes after the goose lays golden eggs. A friend gets a bonus and buys a new car. Meanwhile, a Chinese entrepreneur uses that same bonus to buy a rental property, a small vending machine business, or inventory for an online store. Lifestyle upgrades come only after your assets pay for them. This echoes something Robert Kiyosaki says in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities they think are assets. In Chinese culture, money is often put into real estate, even small plots, precious metals, family-run businesses, education that yields long-term income. If the asset isn't growing, they don't splurge, period. Next time you're tempted to upgrade your phone or book a fancy vacation, ask, did my asset pay for this, or my paycheck? Let your assets foot the bill. That's real freedom. Secret 4. The power of guanxi. Relationships over transactions. In China, there's a concept called guanxi. Guanxi. It loosely translates to relationships or connections. but it's far deeper than networking. Guanxi is a long-term investment in trust, mutual support, reputation. For example, while Western success often rewards the lone genius, Chinese financial culture honors the trustworthy collaborator. The result? Business deals are smoother, job opportunities come easier, resources circulate within trusted circles. A favor given today returns as capital tomorrow. Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba, once said, "You need the right people, not the best people." The lesson: invest in people, not just stocks. A strong Guanxi network can introduce you to mentors, joint ventures, funding opportunities, and doors you didn't even know existed. Want to build wealth the Chinese way? Start treating relationships like compound interest. Invest early, earn forever. If you're finding this video valuable so far, consider subscribing and press the notification button to keep seeing videos on money mindsets from all over the world. Secret 5. Save relentlessly, but with purpose. The Chinese saving culture is legendary. From a young age, many are taught to value every yuan and think twice before spending. But here's the key. It's not just about hoarding money. It's about saving with purpose. In Chinese households, saving is often connected to big-picture goals, home ownership, education, business ventures, or supporting elderly parents. It's intentional, focused, strategic. Compare that to how most people save, if at all. Often, savings are vague, for a rainy day, just in case. But without a clear purpose, it's easy to dip into the fund for convenience rather than necessity. Here's what to do instead. Create multiple savings buckets. One for emergencies, one for investments, one for goals like starting a business or buying a home. Automate transfers to each. Treat them like separate missions. Give each one a name. It sounds silly, but psychology shows that labeling savings accounts increases the chances you'll stick to the plan. One Chinese study found that families with specific financial goals were 33% more likely to hit their targets than those with general saving intentions. That's no coincidence. Purpose-driven saving turns discipline into momentum, and momentum builds wealth. Secret 6. Value ownership over consumption. Here's a cultural mindset shift that's easy to overlook. In traditional Chinese thinking, ownership trumps luxury. Rather than showing off success with flashy brands, there's often a deeper focus on owning assets, even if it's a piece of land, a small business, or even stock in a company. Why? Because ownership produces income. Consumption just eats it. This is one reason why property ownership is such a massive priority in China. Even for those earning modest wages, the dream is to own, often before 30. Not because it's easy, but because it's a long-term wealth anchor. In contrast, many people in the West rent apartments for decades while leasing cars and upgrading gadgets yearly. It's not bad to enjoy life, but when consumption always wins over capital accumulation, wealth becomes harder to build. According to HSBC's survey, China's home ownership rate is over 90%, one of the highest globally. That mindset of owning something, not just using it, is worth learning from. So here's a challenge. Before your next big purchase, ask, is this helping me build equity or just burn cash? Choose assets over aesthetics every time. Secret 7. Family wealth is built together. This might be the most powerful secret and the least talked about. In Chinese culture, wealth isn't seen as an individual pursuit. It's a family strategy. Parents support kids. Kids support parents. Everyone pulls together to build and protect the family's financial legacy. This creates a huge advantage. Imagine saving for a house not by yourself, but with help from your parents and grandparents, or starting a business with family loans instead of high-interest credit cards, or living at home longer, not because you're lazy, but because you're redirecting rent money into investments. Western cultures often idolize independence, but that can lead to financial isolation. Every dollar you earn goes towards solo survival. But in a family wealth system, support becomes a multiplier. One study found that over 70% of Chinese millennials received financial support from family to buy their first home, compared to less than 30% in the US. That's not luck, it's strategy. Now, this doesn't mean freeloading, it means collaborating. Even if your family isn't wealthy, pooling knowledge, sharing expenses, and backing each other up can dramatically improve your odds. Want to build serious wealth? Make it a team sport. Secret 8. Invest in skills, not just degrees. There's a quiet shift happening in many parts of China, and it's a game changer. For decades, education was the golden ticket. But now, families and individuals are realizing that skills, not just certificates, drive income. This means people are investing more in practical, high-demand abilities: coding, e-commerce, trading, language fluency, copywriting, data science. What makes this powerful? Skills adapt, degrees age, and in this modern global economy, the person who can learn fast and execute faster wins. For example, Chinese teenagers are building entire online stores on platforms like Taobao and TikTok, Douyin, before they even graduate. Some are earning more than college grads by monetizing simple but in-demand skills: video editing, drop shipping, even AI-generated art. Compare that to someone sitting on a degree, waiting for a job. One is waiting for opportunity, the other is creating it. Ask yourself, what's one income-generating skill I can learn in 90 days? What's a side hustle I can start with my existing knowledge? What value can I create without waiting for permission? In the Chinese mindset, education is never wasted, but application matters more than prestige. It's about ROI, return on investment, not reputation. Secret 9. Long-term thinking, the 100-year mentality. Here's the final and maybe the most transformative principle. Think in decades, not days. Many Chinese business leaders and families operate with what's called the 100-year vision. They build for generations, not quarterly profits. It's why family-run businesses in China often pass down leadership slowly, training heirs from childhood. It's why investments are rarely sold on a whim. And it's why patience is seen as a virtue, not a weakness. This contrasts sharply with the get-rich-quick mindset. Crypto pumps, meme stocks, overnight success stories. That stuff is entertaining, but it's not wealth. True wealth compounds over time, slowly, quietly, relentlessly. The 100-year mentality teaches you to delay gratification, make decisions based on legacy, not urgency, build things that outlast you. Use this practical exercise. Write down your 100-year goal. What do you want your great-grandchildren to benefit from? A business, a piece of land, a philosophy. Start building that, even if it starts with just $1 today. If this video gives you a fresh perspective, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to hit the like button so we know to make more content like this. Secret 10. Group economics, the power of the economic circle. In Western economies, the individual is king, but in many Chinese communities, both within China and in the diaspora, group economics reigns supreme. This means friends, families, or even village members pool resources to help one another start businesses, buy homes, or invest. It's not just generosity, it's strategy. A common example is the rotating savings club, known in some circles as Eshui Hui, where a group contributes money monthly and each person takes a turn receiving the full pot. It's informal, built on trust, and incredibly effective, especially for those who lack access to traditional credit. This principle has even gone global. In Chinatowns across the world, businesses share suppliers, refer customers, and reinvest in their neighborhoods. That's how Chinese communities in places like San Francisco, London, and Lagos have built lasting local economies within broader societies. This isn't just about helping each other. It's about creating closed-loop wealth, where money stays in the community longer, circulating instead of leaking out. In many Asian and Jewish communities, money circulates 6 to 12 times before leaving. In others, sometimes just once. Now think of this. Who's in your circle right now? Instead of everyone going solo, could you pool knowledge, funds, or time to build something together? Secret 11. Leverage the gray zone. Navigate systems creatively. One lesser discussed financial habit that quietly fuels success in China is what many call operating in the gray zone. This doesn't mean being unethical. It means understanding the gaps in systems and moving through them smartly. In a country with constantly changing rules, Chinese entrepreneurs have developed a cultural instinct for finding loopholes before others do, pivoting quickly when the rules change, staying agile instead of rigid. This behavior has a name: Jiao Hua, clever, cunning, resourceful. It's not about breaking the law, it's about reading between the lines. In financial terms, it shows up as exporters dodging excessive tariffs by shipping parts through Vietnam, students leveraging family businesses to technically qualify for international visas, freelancers shifting between platforms to dodge high fees. This is why many Chinese businesses thrive in environments that others find too complex. They've trained for complexity. They don't expect fairness, they expect flexibility. You can study the rise of companies like Alibaba, an e-commerce platform built during times of regulatory chaos. Instead of waiting for perfect policies, they moved fast, broke norms, and adjusted later. So, don't ask questions like, is this allowed? Try asking, what's the most strategic interpretation of the rules? There's almost always a smarter route, but only for those who look. Secret 12. Philosophy as wealth. Confucian roots of prosperity. Here's one you won't hear on finance TikTok. Many Chinese families don't just want to get rich. They see it as a moral obligation, a way to honor their ancestors and elevate their descendants. And this comes from Confucian philosophy, which is still deeply embedded in Chinese values today. Confucianism teaches filial piety, honoring your parents even after they're gone. Self-discipline in spending, speaking, and living. Social harmony, contributing to a collective good. Education, not for status, but as a duty to improve society. This means wealth isn't just personal, it's philosophical. It's legacy. You see it in the way Chinese parents save tirelessly for their children's education, even when it means sacrificing luxuries for themselves. You see it in how business owners reinvest into their communities instead of just cashing out. In this worldview, money is a tool for balance, not dominance. Start reflecting on your financial goals. Are they purely individual, or are they rooted in something deeper? Purpose compounds faster than profit. These financial secrets aren't locked behind language or nationality. They're mental frameworks forged by culture, tested by history, and proven by results. None of these secrets require luck, just intention. So the next time you're thinking about your financial future, try asking, what would someone thinking 100 years ahead do today? That's where the real secret lies. If you found this video thought-provoking, give it a like. Share it with someone who needs a mindset shift. Which of these lessons hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments section. Subscribe to get more videos that change the way you see money, success, and the world.